T-Fal. Stay tuned. We finished cooking our collard greens in a T-Fal pressure cooker. Now we're about to can collard greens in the pressure cooker. I didn't feel like waiting until everything cooled off in the pressure cooker, so I transferred the collard greens into a pot which will cool down, and then I'll put them in freezer bags. Since we're getting ready to use our pressure cooker again, we need to make sure that it's going to be functioning properly. There is nothing, no food or debris inside of this cap. We can look straight through. There's no food and debris inside of this. Put our gauge back on. We look over here, and we're going to make sure nothing is in there too with the toothpick. Let's get started with the sweet heat beans. Better than baked beans. Heat, just a tad bit sweet. Hot pack, hot jars. So let's go. Not filling it all the way up because we need to put liquid in here too, so. Bay leaf, bay leaf. I don't have to bay leaf it. Put a bay leaf in here. And a few more beans. Now let's fill it up with stock. This was a 5-pound bag. I still have plenty of beans left over. So I am going to finish cooking these and eat them. So let's put them over to the side. Debubble. Rims, rather. Place our lids on. going to set them in the water while our greens are getting ready so they don't cool down. It's time to start filling our jars with our collard greens. I'm glad I only did 10 minutes. If you're doing this and you have them in the pressure cooker to speed up the process, you should probably only put it on 2 to 3 minutes. You just want to warm them up. You do not want to try and attempt to cook them. So thank goodness I didn't put all of my greens in that pot because I mixed some with the ones that I did not do anything with. We are going to fill the jars. Paints, quarts. Why do I keep calling them paints? And these are wide mouth, so I probably can use my tongs. So let's get the tongs. Much easier. Don't want to pack them too tight. It's my first time, so let's cross our fingers. Yeah, so what you want is for your greens to still look green. I'm going to leave an inch head space. Let's get some liquid in here now. Debubble. Vinegar on our rims. One escaped. And now lids. Rings. Finger tight. Wipe them down. Vinegar in the water. Now they will join the beans. Let's put our lid on. Light up our arrows. And it fits nicely. We're going in a 1 range because we're canning greens. We're going to can the greens and the beans for 90 minutes. That's why I put everything in here together. Crank our heat up to maximum. We're gonna have it on steam until we get a steady sound. Time it for 10 minutes and then put it on number 1. Okay, it's time to turn her off. And now we're going to let our pressure cooker come down in pressure, which, as you know, if you have a T-Fal pressure cooker, it does not take that long at all. In no time, it'll be at the 0 pressure range and we'll be able to take the lid off. Y'all, I just have to say, I am so excited that I learned how to pressure cook and can. I cannot believe how much of a time saver it is. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Where in the world can you cook that many greens that I had in this pot in the other video? There is no other way you can cook that many greens in 25 minutes. Incredible, incredible. If I had done it the old way, I'd still be cooking greens. House would be filled with collard green smell all day long. So I'm excited. I know you probably hear my emerald canner going off as well. I'm using the canner feature on my emerald pressure cooker right now because all of the beans that were left in this pot, I decided that's way too many beans to not can up. So I put them in little small half-quart jars. And we're gonna take those out right now. Just release the pressure on that. Always remember to check your lids. I did it again, y'all. I screwed one down and it was not on there tight. And so now my beans are sitting in here without the lid. I went to grab it with my, I call it my grabber. I went to grab it and the lid came off. It didn't dump down in there, so that's pretty good. I could just go ahead and eat that one. These are my spicy, better than baked beans. So here's the one that did not seal. See? But it's gonna be yummy. Pressure is almost down. We'll come back. But I tell you what, these better than baked beans are delicious. Seasoning on point. We are down to 0 pressure on our pressure cooker. So now we're gonna turn our on vent. Or steam. I'm so excited to see what happens. And remember, as you're cooking with this T-Fal pressure cooker, this pressure cooker releases a little bit of steam out of this vent the entire time while you're cooking, you're canning rather. So don't be alarmed if a little bit of air or steam or something comes out of there. As long as you are keeping and maintaining your pressure on your canner, you should be good to go. And we're just gonna let it sit for just a second or two. And let's start pulling them out. These are our collards. Remember, don't tilt them. I know you might want to because it's got water on the top, but we can always take the water off. Beans look great. I'm gonna try to see if we can hear a pop this time and not just with my mouth. I am so excited. It looks like everything was a success. So let me just dab a little bit of this water off. And I'm not putting any pressure on them. I'm just laying the paper towel on top of them. And it's just soaking up that water. So now we're all done. We have our cans of greens and beans sitting on the counter. And remember, you have to let these process overnight so that the seal can be complete for 24 hours. That after 24 hours, you can take your rings off, make sure everything is sealed when you do your little stress test, and you can put them away on the shelf. Thank you for joining me. Happy canning.